Casey Gray here from The Conscious Builder, and on today's video we're going to be talking about the concrete mixes that we used on this zero carbon natural building, and we're also going to get into what the concrete industry is doing in order to become carbon neutral. Now, concrete's a great building material, hence why it's used all over the world, but it does account for 8% of global emissions. Now, concrete alternatives are possible, but they are really hard to scale, and they can't get up to the strength that concrete can. Now, if you are concerned about your carbon footprint and you are doing a renovation or you're building your home, you can take some simple steps to simply reduce the amount of concrete that you use in your home, and that will help you. You can do things like not include a basement, or so you don't have to go as deep. You can also use ICF. Depends on the ICF that you use, but an ICF, although it has foam, will use less concrete, and you can also reduce your building footprint size. For example, a bungalow is going to have a lot more concrete than a two-story home if we're talking about the same amount of square footage above grade. For the concrete producers, this is going to look a little different if they're looking to reduce their carbon emissions. This could mean switching fuels, for example, switching from natural gas to electricity, which is not easy because you do need very high temperatures. A second option would be the cement ratio reductions. And the third option would be carbon storage and capture. On a typical residential build, you're going to have three different pours. You're going to have your footings, you're going to have your foundation, and you are going to have your slabs, which is going to be your garage and your basement slab. Now, on this project, the clients are focusing on reducing the ratios within that cement mixture, which means adding slag to it to reduce that carbon emission number. Slag is a byproduct of the steel industry, and it reduces the carbon emissions by about 30%. Another option would be fly ash. However, fly ash is quite toxic and is a byproduct of the coal industry, but ultimately we want to stop creating that altogether. If you've been involved in a construction project before, you know that things rarely go as planned. It does not go as it is shown on TV. In the case here, when we poured the footings, we were not able to use the concrete mixture that the clients wanted because we had to make a game day decision with the pump truck waiting, and it was going to cost the clients significantly more money in order to wait or to pour another day. So the foundation in this case does have the mixture that the clients wanted. The slabs will have the mixture that the clients want. And ultimately it's going to be a reduction of 3.2 tons in total carbon emissions. So still having a significant impact. And then that offset that they need for the footings will be done in another way. If reducing your carbon emissions is very important to you and your project, I highly recommend that you check out the beam calculator. That is what the homeowners Ben and Lindsay are using here to calculate all of the carbon emission reductions for their home. Concrete companies are also working towards capturing carbon and storing carbon in their mixes, which you can also do on your project, not necessarily in the concrete, but on your property. You can capture and store carbon through maintaining the soil on your property and also through growing trees, which everyone talks about. But one adult tree can store up to 25 kilograms of carbon every single year. Now, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe so that you get notified whenever we release videos like this one. And one of the best ways that you can support the channel is by hitting that like button down below. If you want to learn more about this particular project, you can check out this video here. Until next time, I'm Casey Gray, and remember to live consciously.